Good morning. Well, it's morning where I am. Welcome to the channel. This is Minda Grace channel. My name is Mia. Um, this video is talking about spiritual gifts, and that is a hot topic, I'll say, because it speaks very directly to someone's purpose or understanding your gifts is understanding yourself better, and it allows you to be able to show up for God and God's kingdom in a way that you are specifically designed. I gave this talk, speech, whatever this is, monologue, um, to a group who was ending their spiritual gifts class a couple weeks ago. And I figured this information is helpful. The insight to it is helpful. So I figured make a video about it and share it with people who may be looking for some insight as to their spiritual gifts. Now, I'll begin by saying, if you don't know your spiritual gifts, you can go take a spiritual gifts test. And I believe it is spiritualgiftstest.org. I believe it's that. So go look that up. I will confirm and put it in the description box on this video. So there's that. Now, the class that I took and the class that these people were in, they focus on the top three. So you'll get a list of various gifts, and then they will be ranked based on your answers for the test. And what tends to happen in that class is that you kind of focus in and hone on the top three. But the way that I approached this was I didn't want to focus on the top three because I didn't know these people and I didn't know um, what to speak to in terms of their gift mixture. So I was going in completely blind, only talking about spiritual gifts as a whole. And so when I thought about that, there are three things that really came to mind since I have learned my spiritual gifts and have been able to operate in them, knowing them, right? Because what I realize is I've always operated in them. And sometimes when they are confirmed, you have an aha moment because you're like, oh, I've always been doing that. That's easy. And one way to tell is that you'll realize your top or top three, top five, whatever, it's not work for you. It's not hard. It comes very easy. You just do it. It's like breathing. You just, it's something that you do. It is a part of your makeup. So in thinking of that, there are three things that I learned when it comes to spiritual gifts. And they are, you must know the burden of the gift, the responsibility of the gift, and the environments you will be placed in as a result of the gift. And a fourth one is the longevity that you will be in that location or environment because of the gift. So you have the burden, the responsibility, and the environment as a result with the longevity there. Specifically to the environment, because I'll tap into questions because there were questions, and so I'm going to gauge that their questions are can speak to someone else. So the first question I received was clarification on the environment, right? And the answer to that was it's twofold. It's location, right? It could be geographical, and it can also be access. Example, I am a trained teacher, and my teaching, my natural ability to teach, has taken me to multiple places around the world to teach, right? So my teaching gift has taken me to other countries. It's taken me to other cities. It's taken me I've taught from kindergarten all the way to grandparents, right? And so the location, the environment, the geographical location under environment can be that, but it can also be the access. Your gifts will make room for you, right? Your gifts will take you in front of kings and queens. Your gifts will put you in places you never thought you would be. It is the access. It is when you function and you operate just as who you are. nothing forced, nothing fraud, nothing fabricated. It's just who you are and how you show up, right? And so that speaks to, how are you showing up? Are you showing up fully expressed in your gifting? Are you showing up ashamed of your gifting? Has your gift been talked about? Has it been talked down? Has it been demonized because of ignorance of other people, because of jealousy of other people? There are multiple ways that that can come forth. But those two areas, it is the geographical location environment and it is the access environment. Another question, well, I'll go in this order. So I also, the burden of the gift. Sometimes you don't want to operate. Sometimes you don't want people coming pulling on you. Sometimes you just want to be left alone. Yes, I know I have this gift, but don't bother me. Right? Like leadership, for example. Leadership is one of the gifts. And let's say, for example, there is a situation where a group of people are coming together and you show up. You are not, this is not your event. This is not anything. You're just a visitor or you're a guest. But because of previous knowledge that other people might have of you prior to this event and this situation, they call on you to help. They call on you to lead. They call on you for ideas and input because they know how you roll. Well, that's a burden because I just wanted to show up here and be quiet and receive today. I didn't want to have to take on and take charge today. But because that is my gifting, now I'm being called to the plate. And then what do? Right? Where boundaries come in. Boundaries with your gifting is extremely important. Um, that's a whole nother conversation. And we did get into that, which it'll probably come back up in this next point that I make. But I say all that to say the burden of the gift can be heavy, just like another gift is prophecy. And I'll call it prophetic. When God has shown you something and you've prayed about it, you've sat with it, you haven't jumped on it immediately, and you're very clear that it is something that maybe God wants you to express to someone else, but the word is hard. That's a burden because most of the time, human beings being human beings, they're going to shoot the messenger. It is what it is. Whatever face they see telling them this, they're going to be mad at that face. That's a burden. And so every gift is beautiful. There's pros and cons to every gift. There's burden to every gift. The second one, the responsibility of the gift. Once you realize and you have connected, God has given me these gifts. He's given me this gift mixture. He's given me the ability to see. He's given me the gift of knowledge. He's given me the gift of teaching, of leadership, of prophecy. He's given me the gift of faith, of whatever. I now have a responsibility to operate in it for his glory, for the kingdom. I have a responsibility. I can't know this, accept Jesus Christ, follow Christ, say I'm all about the kingdom, and then don't operate in the gifts. He didn't give it to you just to have it. He gave it to you to use, to work it. And so it's a responsibility. But again, between the burden and the responsibility, you must set boundaries. You have to set boundaries. I gave an example also, reminding people. And again, these were complete strangers like you are watching this video. And I gave a reminder, which I think was also a warning, to never covet somebody else's gift. Do not covet somebody else's gifting. You don't know the cost of that gift. You don't know what they have experienced because of their gift. And your gifting is your gifting, right? So by wanting somebody else's gifting, what is that saying about your own gifting, yourself, about what God is giving you, how he's fastened you? I gave the true story of when I learned about all the giftings and I really thought about them. I started to say, man, I really wish that my gift of faith was higher. I wish my gift of faith was top 3. It's not. But I also had to catch myself and had to say, listen, Mia, you are who you are. God made you how you are. He has allowed you to be how you are. So stop. Stop. You're doing too much. Right? Now, that's not to say it's a blessing to have friends who may have gift of faith as top three, complete blessing because them operating in their gift more than likely is going to mean that they're going to be praying for you, right? And so they're going to take you before God, and that's a beautiful thing. It's a gift of intercessory, is where that would land. But the the last question I received, and it's important, and this is a very specific gift. It's a gift of mercy. No, it's the gift of service. Excuse me. Gift of service. This is a warning to anyone who has the gift of service that is very high on the list. And the woman, even in her voice, she sounded extremely drained. People with the gift of service can give more than they even have to give, and give before they give inwardly. They will put someone else before themselves. They will put the mission before themselves. They will put the vision before themselves because that's how they're wired. And the woman asked me, you know, I'm just drained, but I can't say no. It's in me. I want to serve. I want to help. I want to be there. But what is your advice or what have you to that? Because I had given an example of working alongside someone who has the gifts of service as a top three. And what I shared with her was my experience walking with someone with that gifting. I don't have that gifting as a part of my top three, but I did walk with someone in that way. And I shared that my recommendation would be for her to pray, fast and pray, asking God to send her people who, one, recognized the gift, appreciated the gift, did not abuse her gift, and would protect her in her gifting. What I mean by that is the person I walked alongside, it was a working relationship. And so there were times where it would be late at night, but things would have to be created. And they would ask, what do you need? What do I need to do? And sometimes I'd be like, just just relax, wait, like don't do nothing right now. I know we need it, but you need to take a break. Take a break. And not to toot horns or anything, but if I hadn't have said that or come with that type of posture, they would have pushed themselves to complete the task. And that's what I'm saying. So my advice to her was really pray and ask for God to send you the wise ones who will see you and see where you're doing too much and remind you, where's your boundaries? Remind you, have you taken care of yourself today? Remind you, and also guard you, safeguard you, pray for you. We are social beings. We weren't put here to figure everything out by ourselves. Um, and so that was my advice to her. And it's also been my advice to other people where it's like, you have to put yourself first. You cannot drain yourself because if you're drained, you can't serve nobody anyway. Um, and I know it's not easy because every time there's an opportunity to do or to give or to um, contribute in some type of way, you feel the call and you step up and you want to do it. But sometimes stop first. Just stop and try to make that a habit. As soon as you hear the need or the call, just stop. Just stop first and sit and pray and ask, is this for me? Is this even mine? This might be for somebody else. This might be for someone who doesn't have the gifts of service to start to step into serving, right? We have to be tapped into God to hear him in every instance. So that would be my advice for somebody with the gift of service. I'm looking to see if I have anything else that I want to share on this, but no, I think I'm good. Again, the burden, the responsibility, the environment. Those 3 points, um, they're important. They're important. They've been important to me. And hopefully they'll be important to you, or they will help to aid and serve you in your journey, um, using your gifts for the kingdom of God. So I pray that this was helpful to someone, or even just insightful. And be well, operate in your gifts well, take breaks, take care of yourself, stay prayed up, continue to ask God, continue to keep God first. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.